Are you putting me on trial?
I think we should pretend like this is episode 14.
Exactly.
Because it feels awkward to be recording the first episode of a podcast. Maybe we should do an intro of some sort.
It's the hi, and welcome to Sit in Judgment, where we sit and judge things about Dragon Age.
That is so good. Did you write that down or did you
No,
improvise it?
that was freestyle.
Amazing. Yes, this is Sit and Judgment, and we will sit and judge.
Yeah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Lisa.
And we love Dragon Age.
We too.
I was actually talking to one of my colleagues yesterday because I have been talking about Dragon Age a lot at work. And so I've been talking about you also.
Thank you.
And I described it to one of my coworkers that, like, I have never met anyone who loves Dragon Age more than I do, and you surpass me. And I feel like you have given me space to be more obsessed because
I'm so happy.
if my Dragon Age obsession levels were like here before, and I felt like I couldn't really cross this line because everyone else I knew were like here, but you're like here.
Thank
so
you.
now I feel like I have this space
to grow.
Yeah. And be more obsessed.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. No one that I know even knows what Dragon Age is, basically.
Honestly,
except for my ex who introduced me to it, and he's a casual. He just knows it as a game.
Loser.
Yeah, if you hear this, Jack, boo! I'm kidding. You're also my boyfriend's co-worker, and he is now crusading for Dragon Age Origins, which is my favorite Dragon Age game. Yes. So when you try to turn people into Dragon Age Inquisition, he just...
To be clear, I do not think that Inquisition is, like, the best game ever, like, objectively. I know that it has its flaws.
No, she said, it has no flaws. I love the hinterlands. Get me a bear. I
I will do the full hinterlands every time. I don't care. But it was the first in 2015, I think. It was the first video game that I played in full by myself because I didn't play a lot of games growing up, but my friends were gamers in at university. So they were like, you should be playing video games because you would love them. I was like, I don't really like guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, have you heard of Dragon Age? And Inquisition had just come out.
Yeah.
And I convinced my dad to go halfsies with me on a PlayStation 4.
That's nice.
And then he never played it. So it was just my discounted PS4.
Incredible.
And I played, it was summer vacation. So I played for when my dad left for work in the morning, I started playing. When he came back from work in the evenings, I would stop playing because he wanted to watch the news. So I think my mom was kind of lonely that summer because I only wanted to be at dad's place.
Did they get divorced after that, or
no? Before.
Okay.
Dragon Age was not the cause of my parents' divorce.
That's the tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The episode is called
Dragon Age did not cause my parents' divorce.
Okay. But in this first episode, we are going to, because it's less than 1 week until Veilguard. And we are very much, and I think we cover the spectrum, because I am an Origin girly and you're an Inquisition girly, and I have spoiled myself with everything that's come out about Veilguard, and you're very much unspoiled.
Thanks to Lisa, I should add.
I fell on that sword. That's okay.
Yeah, the meme with the soldier protecting the child that's sleeping. That's been her with Inquisition Veilguard spoilers for me.
But I also think I have been less hopeful and you've been more hopeful, and I think that's really nice. I've tried my best not to make you a bitter person, but I'm excited.
I am excited too.
In preparation for Veilguard, this is a completely spoiler-free podcast.
Yes. To be clear, we won't be spoiling anything about Veilguard this episode.
No,
this
exactly.
First episode, but we will be talking about our playthroughs later.
Yes. But so this episode we have 3 categories to go through, and it's wants, fears, and theories. And I have some notes prepared. Do you want me to start?
I would love for you to start.
Okay.
While you were sorting through your notes, I can just mention that I think one of the reasons why I may be slightly more optimistic than you is because Inquisition is my favorite game. It's very likely that this is going to be more like Inquisition than it is going to be like Origins or Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you're not going to get a lot of the things that you would have wanted from Origins and that vibe, but I have a higher chance of having it be similar to Inquisition.
Absolutely. And I'm not bitter about it not being like Origins. Like, do not lump me in with the gamer bros that are just dogging on it, because that's not me. I'm super excited. I understand that games evolve and that we have different things going on now than we did back in 2009 when that game was released.
Yeah. It was a great game.
It is a great game if you can play it.
If you can play it. You just have to not try to save the game inside a building.
Oh yeah, or in Denerim.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand that it's not going to be like Origins, and that's fine. I can be upset about other things that has nothing to do with that. But one thing that I do want...
Yeah.
I want Hawk, and I think Hawk is going to... I think Rook is going to be more like a Hawk type character than he will be, then she, her, all that jazz, will be the Warden or the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
And because of that, I want them to be terrible, and I want the companions to think they're terrible, because I don't feel like, when I played Dragon Age 2, and that is my least played Dragon Age game, sadly, because I love 2, I think 2 is great. But from what I remember, it's kind of like, Hawk, you dumbass.
Yes.
That's the take. Like,
that
you
is
can't...
the take.
Your companions aren't just like big doe-eyed, oh Hawk, you do everything right, oh Hawk. It's literally like, I am going to scream and leave this party, you bitch. And I want that to be Rook.
I feel like that's why Purple Hawk feels like it's the default.
Yeah.
Because Hawk is just a little bit of an asshole character.
It's just
she's
just
a mess.
girl.
She's a mess. She's just a girl.
She's just a girl.
She's literally just a girl.
And I love her. Yes.
I think that makes her so memorable and charming.
Exactly. And it's kind of, I don't know. I never got the feeling that Hawk was anything special.
No, right?
Which is what I love.
Yeah.
And I love that her companions, except for Anders, because he's a creep. Yes. The companions are just like, yeah, you're a person and you do shit things. I don't agree with this decision, but it's a whole mess, so we gotta fix it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be just, Rook, you're so smart. Rook, you do the best things. Rook, I could never be like you. And Rook, I learned so much from you. No!
I will say that's one of the things that I don't love about Inquisition.
Yeah.
Is that, like, I have a hard time accepting compliments in real life. Sometimes it makes me... It makes me uncomfortable, and I'm working on it.
I never noticed.
No. And as the Inquisitor, everyone is just so like, oh my god, Inquisitor, you're so brave and smart and strong. At the same time, and you're so wise. How do you make all of these amazing decisions?
They do that, but then in the next breath, they microaggress against you.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless you're human, they just go...
Yeah, it's very much like, you're not like other elves.
Yeah, literally. It's like, wow, you're so smart for an elf.
Yeah.
Wow, you're like a person.
Mm-hmm. Especially Solus every time. Every time I get the scene with Solus when he's like, did the
Dalish
did the mark change you?
Yeah.
Like, were you an idiot before? Because you're acting like a person.
Because you're Dalish.
It's freaking me out.
Yeah.
You're so smart and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I just want to strangle him.
Yeah, and it's like, if the Dalish could raise someone like you, literally, you're not like other girls, but the girls being Dalish. It's like, I am a product of the Dalish. Yeah. You were just wrong. Mm-hmm. Can you maybe can you tell that we're not Solus girlies?
Nothing against Solus girlies. I was gonna say nothing against. Not. I was gonna say nothing against Solus, but that's just not true.
No. I haven't punched him though.
No, I have never punched him. I think that he's a really interesting character. One of my favorite playthroughs of Inquisition, I did romance him. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's so fun. I mean, I wouldn't want to, like, party with him.
he would.
He's not fun in that thing.
I think he would be like in the Winter Palace.
Oh yeah,
he loves it.
He's messy.
He's messy.
That's true. Actually.
I love it.
Yeah,
I want to see him party. I don't want to see him in the library. I don't want to see him in the rotunda going like the thing. No, take a shot.
Honestly, you're right.
Do you think like alcohol was a thing?
Yeah, it must have been. I think they had probably like magic alcohol that made you like turn into a temporarily like a spirit form or whatever. Like they must have had some crazy party tricks in the old Elven kingdom,
maybe
empire.
I want to give Solus a vodka Red Bull and see what happens.
That is one of my wants. I want to peer pressure Solus into getting blackout drunk.
That is what I want. But no, we're Cullen.
Yes.
Cullen girlies because we couldn't romance Cassandra.
Yeah, which is
a crime.
It is a crime. It's a travesty. It's a natural disaster, but it's not natural. It's BioWare made. But the magnitude.
Yeah, heterosexuals are not natural.
No. Exactly.
Heterosexuality. This game is too woke.
But yeah, I think one thing that I really want from, because I think this goes into your list of like fears and disappointments, but the lack of decisions carrying over from the previous games.
Yeah.
And I'm also sad about that. And
Yeah.
I wish that we would have gotten more choices that carry, like the consequences carry over into the Veilguard. There are so many characters that I want to know what would have happened to them in different circumstances, and like just like what's up with the mages in the south now,
Right?
Like,
yeah,
but stuff like that. But I think one of my wants is that if I can't get that, I would at least love to have more information, like more lore. I want more deep lore, like the DLC, like the Descent DLC. I go crazy for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I loved learning about the Titans and the Lyrium and the implications that Lyrium, being the blood of Titans, has for everything. And, like, that means that Lyrium is alive. Are we gonna get, like, a red Lyrium Titan?
But here's the thing. If Lyrium is blood, does that mean that all magic is technically blood magic?
Ooh. That's a fun take.
Also, what is the difference? Because it's in the game code of Inquisition that you were supposed to be able to be a blood mage, but they replaced it with necromancy.
Yes.
Which also makes me think, is necromancy a sort of blood magic? I don't think it is, because the dead can't suffer, and it's about the suffering, not the actual, like, blood.
That's true.
Which is why period blood could not, like, it could be used for blood magic depending on your cramps.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is fun as well. Like, oh, you got endometriosis? I'm a legal blood mage. But I actually have a tie-in for the Titan thing.
Oh, yeah.
In my theories, because my theories are about who will betray us.
Ooh.
And I have 3 contenders.
Okay, tell me.
Contender number 1 is Harding.
Oh.
I think Harding might be... I mean, I don't think she will, but I think it would be a very fun concept if Harding, when she... Spoiler for, like, very obvious, but maybe minor. I don't know. If you don't want to know anything about Harding in the new game, but if you watched any of the promotional material, you know this. But since Harding gets magical abilities, she, like, it would make sense if memories are unlocked, like, further down, and she just knows everything about what happens with the Titans and what happened with the Titans and the dwarves and what made them forget. And I think it would be very interesting if she then flips on us, and it's like, you know what, actually I do want Solus to succeed, because I want my people to know their heritage. I want them to have their rights and, like, their history restored, basically. I think that could be really fun.
It absolutely could. No, because I feel like the dwarves as a people and a culture and their history, it's been so ignored.
And it's so cool.
It is so cool. Because I think that Dragon Age has been doing a lot with dwarves that other fantasy franchises haven't been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am obsessed with the fact that they can't do magic.
Yeah.
And that they don't dream.
Yeah.
Especially
that
now.
Too. Like, can you imagine that? Because Solus describes it as, like, being tranquil. Then imagine the shock.
Yeah.
a dwarf like Harding would have, to all of a sudden see the full spectrum of like being connected to the Fae.
Yeah.
That would be hard to give up, I think.
I think so too. I think it would be hard to give up. I think that, like, I can imagine that she would feel that the dwarves have been robbed, as you say, like, of their birthright and of knowing things and of taking their place in the world. Because I feel the fact that they have this connection to Titans and the blood of Titans is Lyrium makes it feel like dwarves should be the most magical.
Yeah.
Like, Dragon Age race.
Yeah.
They should be more magical than anyone.
Period.
And they've been cut off from it.
Yeah.
I think, I just really want to see if they ignore everything that we learned in the Descent DLC.
Surely they can't. I
Right?
feel like the Descent and Trespasser are both like building the I mean, obviously, but like I think the Descent probably matters more than we think.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's the feeling I have, and I really hope that I'm right about that. That's one of my wants. Descent DLC connections.
Would you like to hear the other theory?
I would.
This is the most lukewarm one. My third one is one that I will rant about. But my second theory is that Niv. Niv.
Yep.
I was about to say Niv, and then I remembered it's Nev, so it came out as Niv. She's Polish now. Nev will betray us.
Oh.
And this is because this is a reach, but she's the second person to join our party, right? Because Varric will not be a companion and Harding will be, so Nev is the second one. She's the first mage.
Yeah. I bet Varric is gonna be just fine.
Yeah! Nothing bad will happen to Varric.
He's gonna be on a tropical vacation.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
He's gonna get bonked on the head, and that's why he can't remember Hawk.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not worried.
Oh, I'm not worried. I know he's gonna, there's no way he doesn't bite it.
No.
That's not a spoiler, that's a theory.
Yeah.
A game.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Like, we don't know, but we know.
Yeah.
You know.
You know.
You know that he's gonna die.
They kicked Mary Kirby. They can't keep the corpse of Solus.
No.
No. Solus?
Varric.
Put him in the fridge.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's the second person to join our party. She's the first mage. Morgan didn't betray us, by the way. I think that's a misconception.
Yeah, I also don't think that she did.
No, but she is the betrayer mage in the first game. Do you know if Anders is the second person you recruit in Dragon Age 2? Because I can't remember.
I think you can wait to recruit him.
Yeah.
But actually, no, because you have your siblings as the first companion. And then Varric.
And then Varric.
Yeah.
That's true. I take it back. But Solus is the second companion.
He is.
Along with Varric. But Varric is already an established character, so I don't really count him.
No.
I said it was a reach. But I also think that Nev, she's part of the resistance. She wants to see Tevinter as an equal society.
Yeah.
And she's a detective, so she would know how to hide evidence. I don't trust her.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, because I don't know.
I feel like it might be one of the characters that we get to see in Tevinter Nights. Because I think that there might be like a false sense of safety there. Where it's like, oh, but I've read about this little guy before. Like, I know them. They wouldn't do that. And again,
that's assuming that you've read Tevinter Nights, and the majority of people will not have read Tevinter Nights. I'm the majority of people. I haven't read it. But yeah, I think because I don't think they'll do it on a basis of you've read the books. But maybe they'll do it anyway, and then for the people who read the books, it just hits harder.
Maybe. I have read about 72% of Tevinter Nights. But I think I have read all the ones that are relevant to, like, companion characters in the Veilguard, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, third,
and get ready because this is going to be a rant. I think Balara. I want Balara to betray us.
Yep.
Not like, yeah, she's a veil jumper elf. Like, it makes sense that blah blah blah. But I want her to betray us specifically because of her personality.
Yes. If she's, I don't want to interrupt your ranting, your wonderful, passionate thoughts.
Thank you.
But if Belara is just Dragon Age PB from Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm gonna be so disappointed in BioWare because I did not care for PB. Maybe this is controversial, maybe it's not. I don't hang out on like Dragon Age TikTok or Instagram or Reddit or whatever enough to know what a lot of people think, I think. Except that everyone loves Garrus from Mass Effect. I was gonna say, if you're watching this, I love you.
Garrus, please,
call
me back.
Call me back, Garrus Vicarian. I miss you. No, but if Belara is just PB as an elf, I'm gonna be sad because I didn't care for PB.
No, and it's here's the thing, right? Like, as a woman with ADHD, I don't speak for every woman with ADHD, obviously. We are legion. But I am so sick of seeing women with ADHD being childish and bubbly. And I get that there's a type of representation in that, and that's lovely. But I am sick of it. I think it's tired. I think it's been done, which is why if she turns around and betrays us, it would hit for both people. Like, it would hit for the people who love it.
Yeah.
Because how could you? My like, cinnamon roll. But for people like me, who hates it, I would feel like an idiot for buying it. For underestimating and thinking that she is just like a bubbly little scatterbrained person. I would love that. I would love to feel like an idiot.
Yes. But I also think it would be fun if it was Belara.
Yeah.
I think that she needs some depth to her character.
And this is obviously saying we don't know.
Yeah,
her
obviously we
at all.
don't know. There might be a lot of depth then. And when I say depth, I think what I really mean is a little bit of darkness. I want to see a little bit of darkness in her.
I have another note on that.
Oh.
Because you know how they've said, like, oh, some romances are more, like, sensual, and some of them are very inexperienced. And I know it's going to be Belara. They're going to make Belara into this, like, ooh, I've never done this before. I have never met a woman with ADHD who isn't an absolute freak. So I think if you're going to go with the female representation of ADHD, go all the way. Suspension, like mummification. Yeah, I want her to have to beat the shit out of me in order to make it.
Yeah, you want the Lae'zel experience.
Exactly. Yeah. I want Belara to turn around, full fucking gimp suit, like, put this on.
I think that would be wonderful.
Yeah. I think that would make me happy. Then she can be as bubbly as she wants, and I don't care.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I'll be interested to see what she's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just, like, obviously we just have trailers and stuff, and I have barely watched any of them because I don't want to be spoiled on the story. And apparently they have decided that they are just going to use spoilers for marketing.
Yeah.
They're like...
Yeah, they're not even trying anymore, and it's a choice.
Yeah. And obviously this is based on what Lisa has been kind enough to tell me. So if she's wrong, then I take no responsibility and I'm throwing her right under the bus.
And I don't know when that became a thing that you have to like preface everything, but I'm not saying that me not liking a character makes them a bad character. I'm not saying she's poorly written or they are a bad character, they should have done. No, this is just what I probably, even if she is super bubbly and that's her personality and nothing else, I'm sure I will appreciate that character. I just won't like her. And those are two different things.
Exactly. It's like, I don't necessarily like Solus, but I still think he's great. And I obviously wouldn't want him out of the games, and I don't think they should change him.
Yeah.
But I just, like... But it's like Blackwall, right? I'm sorry. I don't care for Blackwall at all. I just don't care for him. Like, I get annoyed that I have to do his quests, but I still pick him up from jail every time because I feel like I should.
Yeah.
And I just think, like, I've never done his romance. Maybe that's fun. But I don't, like, he's just always, like, sucking up to you. And then he's also just... Like the puppy story, that's such a downer.
It's so weird.
Like, stop telling me about the time that you watched a dog get kicked to death. I don't want to know. It's like the movie The Lobster.
I love that movie.
I hate it so much.
Why?
It made me so miserable. Like, it was marketed, it was tagged on Netflix, I think, as a dark comedy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I watched it by myself, and I don't even, like, escapism is the thing for me with media. And so I watched it, and there's a scene where an animal is kicked to death, basically.
Spoilers for the movie Lobster.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be too specific about it because, like, it's a great movie, but it made me feel so miserable about existence.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, like, a mini version of that is Blackwell's dog story.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an age thing that I played Inquisition when I was younger than I am now. Even now, I feel like Blackwell is just doesn't hit for me because he is like father figure-ish.
Yeah.
Because nothing says father quite like disappointment and dishonesty.
I think for me it's mostly that I think that he's a little bit boring. Like I think he's very low intensity.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that, but I don't want it for me. And he's also such a hypocrite, and I understand that that's kind of the point of him, right? The point of Blackwell is that he's a hypocrite, but he's trying to become what he says he is. And he eventually does.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that arc. I just don't think it's fun.
No.
I want to have fun.
Fine.
I want to have fun my games.
Controversial.
Controversial opinion.
Very controversial.
I want my games to be fun. And I want to be sad a little bit too.
I'm scared. I want
Broodmother level stuff.
Oh my god, yes.
I want to be horrified.
Terrible. I have so much to say about that.
Yes.
In a later episode.
Also,
but yes.
For this podcast, we're thinking of starting out with Veilguard, but then once we're done with that, we're gonna start replaying the games.
Yeah.
And do Origins 2 and Inquisition. Yeah. And talk about some more specific stuff in some extra episodes, I think.
Exactly. Let's talk about some fears.
Yes.
Because poor Hayden. Hayden is my boyfriend and Sophia's coworker, and
he has to listen to so much Dragon Age
I can't
stuff.
Spoil Sophia. Hayden gets an earful all the time. Yeah. But these are spoiler-free fears. I will mention one thing from the first gameplay reveal
that I did watch. Yes,
she did watch that. So if you haven't watched that, but if you have, you probably have. But the tell and no show. Yeah, I hate that in everything I consume. Yes, but especially when there's so much pressure on this game already. So when I sniff it, I immediately it irks me. And the line is obviously specifically she's the best damn detective I've ever met. It's like, I'm just supposed to take you on that. Yeah. Instead of showing me just a snippet of like, he can just say like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she knows. And then show me something that she does. Yeah. To then go, oh, okay. Yeah.
Sure. Or even just like reference some case that she solved and make people react to it like that's impressive and surprising. Exactly. Even something like that, but it's just so tell. And I think that's also, it ties into my next fear, which is talking to the player through characters instead of the player character. And I also hate that. Yeah, like when Morgan shows up again in Inquisition, I don't know if that's what you think about that scene too, but the Inquisitor reacts like they're like, "Ah, Morgan's here." Yeah. It's like the only thing you know about Morgan is that she's supposedly shady, and Liliana warned you about her. Yeah, and yet you're like, "There she is." That does not make sense to me.
No, I didn't think of that specifically, but now that you mention it, it is kind of weird how you can't react more skeptical. Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't like when it feels like the characters talk to you as the player, and that goes both for in a like tell don't show way where you try to give backstory or implication, but when it's hard to explain without mentioning specific things from later trailers and stuff. But
Yeah.
when it's and the morality of the story is this. I should have written down more examples of that, but I don't want tell, don't show, and I don't want me to be talked to.
No.
Is what
It's immersion breaking.
It's immersion breaking, and it's irritating, and it's also to me it says that you're insecure in your game.
Yeah. Like, you should be able to make the player have some takeaways either way.
Yeah, and like trust that I am smart enough to puzzle this together on my own.
Yes.
And if I'm not, give me the like enjoyment of hearing it from other people that also play it, so I can go, oh.
Yes. I would like some. I'm not interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
I would like some more interesting villains.
Yeah.
Than we've had in recent. Like, Corypheus is cool and all. Like, he looks intimidating when you first see him.
Yeah.
But it's so. Like, he's just so evil, you know?
Yes, it's the mustache twirling. Like everyone said that. That sounds like I'm mad at you.
No,
but I agree, and I think most people agree that like.
Yeah.
I think less Corypheus, more Samson.
Yeah, more Samson.
Calpurnia. I think Calpurnia is sick.
She's amazing. Or even just more like Logain.
Oh,
style.
I love Logain.
Yeah. Like, he's.
I mean, I don't love him. I love his character.
He's a really interesting character, and he works so well as a villain because you feel sure as a player that he is a hero of his own story.
Exactly.
As that's the case for all villains and heroes, probably.
But have you read Stolen Throne?
I have not.
Because that is amazing for his character.
Yeah.
Like, I still like appreciate him just by playing Origins, but by reading The Stolen Throne, it just made me appreciate him that much more. Like, he's great character.
Nice. I think I should read I should read those books.
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And by those books, I mean The Stolen Throne and the other earlier Dragon Age books.
Yeah, The Calling is great because you get more Duncan.
Ooh, that's cool.
Another fear. Let's see if I can tie something in there. Should we talk about Solus and the Inquisitor?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Because that's also a thing. Because in the... I feel like I'm talking over you all the time.
You're not.
But you know how in like... the keep, you can choose if your hawk was a purple or like renegade. Not vagabond. No, paragon.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I don't think we're gonna get that option because it's not as clear.
No.
In Inquisition, and that makes me feel like I'm not gonna be able to relate to a character that I played.
Yeah. I think that that's a problem even for Hawk in Inquisition. Yeah. And I think they handled that fairly well, actually. But I'm worried about that too.
Yeah.
And I'm also worried. I don't know. I'm just concerned.
Yeah.
One thing about like the dialogue and stuff is that I really liked, we've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. Like all of you, I'm assuming.
Everyone did.
But I really like the way that dialogue works. I like it, like also in Origins, the way dialogue works, and you choose just one. It's not the like, this is the nice option, this is the sassy option, and this is the aggressive option.
Yeah.
I think that worked really well for Mass Effect, but I don't think it works as well for Dragon Age.
No.
And I really enjoy that it's sort of like, you don't have to choose one of 3 personalities.
Yeah. I like silent protagonists. Yeah. It doesn't make me feel less... Like, it makes me feel more connected to my characters when they don't have the voice lines, because then I can project my own interpretation on how they said that and shit. It just helps role-playing, but I get that not all people want to do the mental gymnastics of...
Yeah. I think I actually like a voiced protagonist more. I have a hard time explaining why, but I think that it's, I don't know, I think it makes them feel more like a person to me. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe that's the thing, like like, obviously they're an avatar of me, but I don't, if they have their own voice, it makes them feel more like a character in the story.
Yeah.
And less like just me. And I also like a silent protagonist. Absolutely. And I think there's really good aspects about that too. But I've really enjoyed having Hawk and the Inquisitor being voiced.
I think, yeah, maybe it's about the voice actor and the line delivery and direction, because I loved Hawk's voice acting.
Yes. It was so good.
I did not love a lot of, say a lot, but it is, honestly, I didn't love a lot of the line delivery from the Inquisitor.
No.
I think that's not the voice actors or actresses' fault. That is purely on the like direction.
Yes, I was gonna say that. I think that's a director issue.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time it feels like they were told to say the line in a way that doesn't reflect the actual situation and the context.
There's no acting, there's just reading.
Yeah, but sometimes it's also like the typical example would be the scene where the Inquisitor interrupts Corypheus, right, with the divine.
What's going on here?
What's going on here?
But I think that, honestly, I think that's a mix-up in post.
Oh.
Because there's two, like, because that, like, what's going on here is the same what's going on here when she interrupts Dorian and Mother Giselle. It's the exact same.
Oh.
So I think someone put the wrong file in the wrong place and then went,
that is not impossible, actually. That would make a lot of sense because it's such an underreaction.
It's so weird. So I genuinely just think that it's an oopsie.
Yeah, probably.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah, but I think that's also like with Mass Effect, I love that Shepard has her own voice. But Shepard is also more of her own character.
I guess then I just hope that the direction is better.
Yeah. I hope so too. But we'll have to find out. Yeah, I really want there to be depth to the storytelling and to the relationships between the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit, this is a very shallow concern in the way that I'm not like, this isn't like, ooh, is the game gonna mess this up? It's just like, I'm worried when I play that I'm gonna be too slow romancing characters and they're just gonna start romancing each other.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm just gonna be like, have missed it somehow. Like,
yeah, no, I also have the same fear.
Yeah, like
it's like I'm
too slow.
I'm a jealous person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't look at my man. I'm also like, if you have a thing going on or like starting a thing, I don't want to get in the way of that.
No.
If I was gonna go for it and then I didn't understand when to do it and now you are flirting with that person, I'm not gonna butt in. That's my man. That's my guy. Like, that's my friend. I don't want to cock block.
No, exactly. Maybe they can do like, or can do as if the game isn't already done. But maybe they're doing like a thing where if that's about to happen, they're about to start like romancing each other, you'll get a cue. In some way in dialogue, like if you talk to them, they'll be like, actually, I wonder if that person's single, and then you should have like a prompt to be like, maybe not.
I think they've done that.
Yeah. Okay, that's
I think there's some, I feel like I've seen it mentioned in an article where it's like, you will, not like this is what will happen, but like you will get little like, you can push them in each other's direction maybe, and it's like, that's nice. But then if I have the two options of flirt with them or tell them to go forward, if they're already showing interest in that person, I'm not going to be like, well, what about me? No.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, please remember that I have not read almost any of the articles, and I've only watched that very first trailer and the first gameplay trailer, and I don't know anything else. I've read the descriptions of the factions, but I've been trying to stay as spoiler-free as possible, so if I say things that already are known...
Make sure to comment.
Send me hate mail.
Yeah.
Make sure to send some really mean comments. If you can send like a stink bomb to my house, have fun with that. I'm not gonna tell you where I live, but
if you find out, like, I'm not gonna hide it.
No. But yeah, I think that the people want to hear about your work. Like, what faction are you gonna go with? What do you wanna do for your work?
I have, again, poor Hayden. He's had to listen to me go into.
Really sorry to interrupt you, but I just have to say about Hayden. this poor man. Because when he's at home, it's all Dragon Age. And then he comes to work at the office and it's still just more Dragon Age. Like, and he's so invested in it too. Like, even though he's not like, he's a Dragon Age guy by proxy. But it's like, I was talking to a coworker in the hallway like a couple of weeks ago, and I was trying to sell her on Dragon Age. And I was just mentioning, we were like by the coffee machine, and I was mentioning that like a lot of people think that Origins is the best game, but maybe for someone who's new to it, Inquisition is easier to get into. And then I just hear like stomping down the hallway, and Hayden shows up in his little suit doing like a pose like this, and he's like, actually, Origins is a superior game because... And then I could just... It was like Lisa was speaking through him. And he was talking about the like inherent horrors of womanhood in relation to the brood mother.
This is joyful things that I talk about at home.
Yeah. And it was just so like incredible. Like the timing of the comedic timing. It was actually that interaction is what led us to start the podcast.
Yeah.
Because
it was funny.
It was so funny. And
I didn't hear it from Sophia. I got a text from Hayden saying Sophia was telling someone that Inquisition was the best game, so I had to jump in and correct them. And I think I said to him, like, and I said to you, like, I'm happy he didn't just shit on Inquisition, because that's not my take.
No, exactly. And it's like, I love Inquisition a little bit more, but I also love Origins. And 2. I think we forget about 2 sometimes. Like, as a game, I think we remember Hawk and the characters, but like the game itself... sometimes forget. But we also have our friend Isabel, who loves the second game the most.
Yeah, so we'll probably have her come and re-educate us.
Yeah.
Tell us how wrong.
I met her yesterday, and she said that ever since we talked to her about the podcast and that we would want her to someday come talk about 2, she has been thinking nonstop about Dragon Age 2.
Oh yeah, we're like a virus.
We also, like, Lisa and I became friends through Hayden, because when they started dating, she was talking about Dragon Age. You can cut this out if you want. And I had talked to Hayden at work about Dragon Age before. And he was like, oh, Lisa plays this game too. And I was like, oh my god, can you ask her about this? Like, what did she think about this? And so Hayden would come into my office and be like, Lisa would like to know what your canon Inquisition playthrough is, or like, who is your favorite romance option in Dragon Age 2? And so eventually he just had to introduce us to each other.
He referred to you as my soulmate before we even met.
It was just so scary when we were going to meet them for the first time.
It was so much pressure.
Yeah.
What if she doesn't like me?
Yeah, exactly. I think most people are aware that you and I are friends at work now, too. But sometimes people get confused because Hayden talks about Lisa a lot, obviously. And I also talk about Lisa a lot. But it's very funny when people are like, is this Hayden's girlfriend?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah. My Dragon Age soulmate.
Like, who? Yeah. So maybe we should have him on an episode and just ask him, like, tell me everything you know of Dragon Age.
Yes.
By just...
I think that would be hilarious. Yeah.
He said, we aren't soulless girlies, but Hayden is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I've been playing Inquisition at home. I've been trying. I gave up. I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
I have on PlayStation. I've also played it on PC.
Yeah.
But I've mostly played Inquisition on PlayStation, and I have 1,200 hours now, I think. Yeah.
I don't know how you play it without the, like, instant war table mission mod.
It's sometimes that's what makes me stop playing.
Yeah.
Like interrupting a playthrough. But my hack for playing Inquisition this time around, because I know everything in that game and I never make any new decisions at this point. No. It's like I love playing it, and it's like a comfort thing, right? Like when I've had a stressful day, I want to just come home and play Inquisition. But I've been starting to watch The Bachelor on my phone or just like reality TV in general while I'm playing, so that I can just half focus on that and half focus on Inquisition.
Yeah.
And it's actually a perfect combination.
That sounds pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah. It's like multiple screens, baby.
Yeah. No, but I've been playing it and he keeps interrupting me going like, this lore is so sick.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool. And like, but I think I would romance Solus.
Yeah,
I
he
think I
probably would.
Yeah, because he's...
The last time I was over at their place for dinner, we ended up lecturing Hayden about the history of Thedas for like an hour until I had to go home.
Yeah, he's the expert now, really.
Yeah, exactly. Hence the educating of our colleagues.
Yeah.
This is a patent firm, by the way, like intellectual property.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch
very
of
serious people.
Yeah, very serious people in suits. It's a bunch of like engineers and lawyers and stuff. But anyway, your rook, please.
My rook, yeah, sorry, shit. How do you remember that that's where we started?
I'm a genius.
You are a genius. My rook, my first rook that I'm gonna play is obviously an elf rogue crow.
Yeah.
How original. The backstory that I have for her is that she was born in the Denrim alienage.
Yep.
And so she like heard the stories about my Morden, who was also a alienage elf, who killed herself for the trauma. It's literally, oh, you dumped me, I'm gonna go kill myself. Very, very non-toxic. But yeah, and basically her, like, there was a Lord of Fortune stealing something from the Chantry, and her parents hid the Lord of Fortune.
Yep.
And as a like thank you, they were like, please take my daughter because this place sucks. And he was like, bet. So she spent a few months on that boat, and then they had to stop in Antiva for something. And in Antiva, the Chantry had actually paid the crows to kill that man and take that ship back. So they killed that man and took that ship back. And then they said, also the child, put her in training. And that's how she is now. That's how she became crow, which is also why she doesn't have an Antivan accent.
Oh, that explains it.
That's the story I have for her.
I'm very excited to see your rook.
Thank you.
I feel like I need to see my rook before I finalize like her backstory. I do want to be a veil jumper mage elf.
Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
We're bisexual women. We can't stray too far.
No. That's impossible. And I also think that being an elf is going to be fun because of Solus and this stuff.
Exactly.
But I think that's going to be fun. I love the concept of the veil and the...
You love magic.
I love magic. I love the fade. I love being in the woods. This is just like, if I was in the Veilguard, what would I have wanted my background to be? And it's just like magic and cool exploration and being in the woods and being a cool elf.
And me being a woman from like a privileged society, I obviously want to roleplay that I'm oppressed.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
No, but I think I think that would be so fun when we talk about our playthroughs.
Yes.
Because it will be very different, and I think they will have very different takes on things.
Yeah.
Because my girl will probably be very... What's in it for me?
Yeah. I think that my rook is going to be very curiosity driven.
I see that.
Yeah. I think that's also, it's an easy way to justify what your character does.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with when you play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, right? You have to find a motivation for your character to stick with the party. And I think that's honestly one thing that I think is difficult about Inquisition sometimes, is that when you play, like my Solus Romance Inquisitor, who was obviously a Dalish elf mage, I had a hard time figuring out why she would stay when she didn't have to for her own safety.
Yeah.
Because I'd made her in a way that she was supposed to like be kind of anti-human, and she didn't like the Chantry, and they had literally tried to like arrest her for a crime she didn't commit when she was a victim. Like, what would make her trust these people enough to think that they're not just gonna throw her under the bus?
Exactly, like the second you don't need me anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when everyone microaggresses.
Yes, exactly. But I think, like, so I like to have something that I think is going to convince my character to keep going. Yeah. I am very torn when it comes to romances.
Hayden is not a gamer.
No, Hayden is not a gamer.
Hayden is not a gamer. He plays COD.
Yeah.
He played COD as a kid. He's very passionate. We can have a COD episode. He's playing Mass Effect.
Yes. And he's on the second game, right?
He's on the second game right now, and his favorite thing about Mass Effect is the politics.
And the way that Hayden plays Mass Effect, like his Shepard, makes me insane. Because his thing is like, I'm at work. I'm not going to socialize. Why are you telling me about your personal stuff? I'm at work. And when they're like, oh, it's time for my personal mission. He's just like, if we have time, I'm working.
The galaxy needs saving.
So he's not romancing anyone. He's not interacting anymore with anyone than he has to.
I find it
He's avoiding side quests. And it's bizarre to me that his perspective on this is, but he's at work.
Yeah.
When has that ever stopped Hayden from getting fun gossip or like making friends?
Yeah.
Like, he's role-playing the most boring Shepard that I've ever heard of.
I love it. I love that he completely just neglects romance.
Yeah, but it's like
they're like, oh, Shepard. Yeah. He's like...
But it's like he does the same thing with Stardew Valley. He's like, I'm a
farmer.
No.
He does not do the same thing in Stardew Valley.
But it's a little bit. He's like, I'm a farmer. I'm not going to go into the mines. Why would I do that? I'm a farmer, right?
No, he's a fisher.
Oh, yeah, he's a fisher.
He's a fisher.
Yeah.
Fish fear him. Women want him, but he does not care.
No.
I'm torn on romance.
Mm-hmm. As we have established, I love Garrus Vicarian. Shout out to Garrus if you're out there.
Please.
And I have heard that Davrin has been written by the writer of Garrus Vicarian. And he also is hot and he has a cute pet.
Yeah.
And so I feel very tempted by that. But Lucanus, is that how you pronounce his name?
I think so. I want to say Lucanus.
Lucanus, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's Lucanus, which I don't like.
No. But... Anyway, Luke.
Luke? Oh, no, not Luke!
I think that Luke is hot. Don't say Luke. And he also has that, like, disaster vibe to him.
Yeah, I mean, Mary Kirby, who wrote him as well, has described him as the disaster vibe. Yeah. Like, he's a disaster vibe, and he's a short king. Yeah. With a mullet.
And
Love it.
I think that's attractive.
Yeah, like, obviously.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I don't think I'm gonna go for Bellara. I'm probably gonna do a Harding romance in a later playthrough. Yeah. Because I feel like I want to have fun in my first playthrough, like we have established. Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, and as we know, Grey Wardens aren't tragic at all.
No.
That would just be fun.
It will just be fun. I'm gonna be sobbing.
Yeah, no, Davrin is absolutely, because I've been sold on Lucanus, obviously. Mm-hmm. But Davrin is making it tough. Yes. Davrin is making it tough. I love just a good-hearted Grey Warden. Yeah. I have a theory, or I have a want about Lucanus. Yes. That I don't think I can talk about. Ooh. Sadly. But if you know, then you know. I'm worried that they're going to make the crows super cool and nothing else. Yeah. And I think we talked about this before. I think I'm scared of the crows becoming Assassin's Creed when they're actually super fucked up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the whole thing with Zevran, I think they struck a good balance. Yeah. Between showing the like cool and the really horrifying sides of the demon crows. Yeah. I think overall we're kind of like a lot of our worries come from the fact that we're worried that we're not going to be horrified enough.
Yeah, and it's like, I want the horrifying without the monster part. Yes. Like, the politics. Yeah. I make fun of Hayden for liking the politics of Mass Effect, and then I said politics, but like, that's what I
also love the politics of Mass Effect.
I don't play Mass Effect. No. I've tried. It's not for me. I think it's just that I don't like playing with guns. Yeah. I prefer 2 daggers.
Yeah. I don't like swords in games. I get bored of that, but I love being a mage. I love being a biotic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I love romancing aliens.
Lucanus, I have my eyes set on Lucanus. Yeah. But we'll see. Because I want to see him without the beard.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't trust men with beards.
No, I'm not a beard girly.
No.
I don't like that I use the word girly about myself in this specific context. I don't know. Was there a thing where we could see Blackwall without a beard? Someone did art with that, or was it like official concept art? Something
I think someone
awoke in
modded.
my brain.
I think someone modded
I want to
Blackwall
see
without the beard.
beardless Blackwall.
Yeah, let's see.
Because maybe I would be into Blackwall if he didn't have a beard.
Blackwall, no beard.
Show us.
Oh no.
Oh god, was it that bad? Why does he look like Ben Shapiro?
That's what it is. I knew. I was like, he looks like a sad, pathetic little man. It's Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah. No, that's not for me. It's so, his face is so small. Like, give him some more length. Like, pull his jaw down. Yeah, like,
I mean,
he's hot from the, like, cheekbones up.
That's why they gave him a beard, babe.
We're sitting in judgment of Blackwall.
Yeah, we judge you.
Yeah,
Blackwall.
he's been judged.
He's been judged and found disappointing. Oh yeah, Inquisitor. I was gonna say something about Solus and Inquisitor because I have a very like to satisfy me specifically, which is what they should aim to do, and no one else. No, but it's to give like to do Inky justice. I think they would need to not only do the are you like high approval, low approval? Did you say save or kill?
Yeah.
I think very specifically an outcome that I would like. First of all, I don't want Solus to die at the end.
No.
Because I think that's boring.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want him to just... Like, what would he do?
Yes.
At the end if he didn't die?
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be and I think someone said this on TikTok. I can't remember who, so please let me know who it was. But I think someone gave the comparison of Atlas.
Oh, yeah.
Of being forced to like hold up the veil for the rest of eternity.
That would be good.
And that would be so good. And then another layer of that, I want it to be, if it's a Romance Inquisitor who said, I'll stop you, then it's just, okay, bye. That's so sad.
Yeah,
I'm going to go do something else. I don't know. But if there's a Romance Inquisitor that said, let me join you, I want there to be another layer of Greek tragedy in the form of... I think it's Ios and the cricket, where like the goddess of dawn loved a mortal man, wished for immortality. Zeus said bet, but didn't make him never age, and so Ios in the final act of love turned him into a cricket. Yeah. And then they're just like he's always there and singing to her, but can never touch her. And I think it would be something like, oh, you can join him, but you'd have to be a spirit, and you will again, you can't touch him. Yeah. The whole you can be with him, but not actually be with him is the right amount of pain for me.
I really like Solus in context of like romantic tragedy. Like Solus alone is interesting, but Solus with other people and like in connection to other people and to different like the societies and stuff, I think that's tragic in a very appealing way. Yeah. Like he is good for tragedy.
Yeah, but I like in the same way I want an Inquisitor that said, I'll stop you, to like if they're romance, I want there to be a difference. I want a high approval person to come in and like be sympathetic but still be like, I'm gonna stop you, but like I feel for you, man. That's sad you feel like you have to do this. I want a romance Lavellan to come in fucking swinging. Yeah. You condemn me to death. Yeah. Like, by just not killing me with your bare hands, and you're a fucking coward. Yeah. And I'm gonna provoke you. I want that hurt of like her just hitting for like the jugular and being like, fucking kill me. Then just kill me yourself.
Yeah. It's kind of like the opposite of love isn't hate, it's apathy thing. Yeah. And being like a romance Lavellan being faced with kind of apathy from Solus. Like, yeah. I think that hurts. Yeah. It's so, tragedy.
Yeah. That would be delicious.
Yes, I think so too. But we'll see. I really hope that they don't gloss over it. Or pretend like the Inquisitor and Solus' relationship never mattered at all. Regardless of whether that's a romance relationship. Or if it's just like as friends or allies.
Yeah. I just think it's fucked up if like a romance Lavellan comes back and forgives him.
Yeah.
Without addressing the fact that he still assumed that she would die. He was still totally okay with leaving her to die instead of taking her with him and being like, okay, you understand my cause, I guess.
I think what I love about the Dragon Age series is the depth of the lore. It's the depth of the characters and the relationships that you forge with them. And it's the impact you have on the game, like throughout the game in your setting. And I am sad about the fact that our choices won't carry over to the extent that we hoped. But I hope that they at least matter, like the games we make, the decisions we make in this game, that they matter within the context of this game.
Yes.
Like, I want it to feel like I am affecting the setting.
Yeah.
And the story.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that are wonderful about Dragon Age.
Yeah.
And so if it's not going to carry through between games as much, then at least give that to me in the game, and then you can have a lot of the lore and from the previous games and get deeper into that.
Yeah.
It's not as nice as if the choices would have carried over, but it's something.
You can never please everyone.
No.
So if they did go through with what I'm about to say, people would be mad about that. And I would probably be mad about that because I'm a hypocrite.
But you all are.
We are. But instead of just going like, oh, no, it doesn't matter who you left in the Fade, actually.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I think just finding a skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, stumbling upon a skeleton with, like, a note in very, like, faint, or, like, even carved into fucking stone or something. I don't know. Of just, like... If it's Alistair, then it's, depending on if he's romanced or not, then it's a letter to the warden that he romanced, or just a letter to the other wardens, or like anything. I don't know. If it's Stroud, who cares? Nobody cares about Stroud.
No.
If it's Loghain, like a last note to Anora would fucking... Oh, it would hurt so bad.
Yes.
If it's Hawk, I want it to be a letter to Varric. I think it would make sense for Hawk to leave a letter for Varric mentioning the person that they romanced. Something like that, where it would hurt so bad, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah. Or even a letter to Gamlen.
Ooh.
Referencing their sibling somehow.
But stuff like that, where it's like just a codex entry, or something like... to show that it did matter and it did happen in the world. Because I think that, like, no trace of it happening at all is a weird choice.
It's a weird choice.
It's a weird choice when it's all about the veil and it coming down, when you literally left an important person in the Fade.
Still alive.
When we see them.
Yeah.
Like, they're presumed dead. Show me how much pain they were in when they died, so I feel even worse.
Because I feel like it's sort of an unwritten rule that unless a character is shown to die, like, if I don't see them die or I don't see their dead body, I'm not going to believe that they're dead. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they may be. But it's like, sure.
Been replaying Inquisition and did the Wicked Eyes, Wicked Hearts quest, and they say, like, oh, who sits on the Orlesian throne will affect all of Thedas. Until it doesn't.
Yeah. All of Thedas except for Tevinter, and no one is ever going to reference anything outside of Tevinter anymore.
Yeah, but we're not just in Tevinter.
No.
We go to Antiva, we go to Navarra, like...
Yeah, that's true.
We're hopping away, like, all over the place. And it's not, like, it doesn't matter at all, apparently.
I think for me, the biggest disappointment is who we put on the Throne of the Divine.
Yeah.
Because there's such a big difference in, like, in the after credits for Inquisition, the way that Thedas is looking in the South specifically. If Vivian is the Divine, or if a hardened Liliana, Cassandra, or a softened Liliana. Like, I tend to go for a softened Liliana for the Divine, because I feel like, yes, Cassandra is a more, like, obviously I'm pro-mage freedom, or obviously.
Which is also, who isn't?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I want to, like, I love Vivian as a character, but she frustrates me to no end.
Yeah.
Because she's so conservative when it comes to mages. And she can be so blind for, I think that it all comes from a place of fear.
Yeah.
Like, she's scared that if she tries to, or like if society tries to advance the cause of the mages and provide them more freedom, that it's going to backfire on all mages. I don't think like I think she is ambitious and wants a lot for herself, but I don't think she's like a narcissist who doesn't notice that other mages are suffering. I think that she's scared that it would be worse.
Yeah. I don't agree with Vivian. And I think she's a great character.
Yeah, exactly. I don't agree with her.
I love that I don't agree with her.
Yeah.
And I love that she does not go.
Yeah.
Even though she hates her guts.
Yeah, it's very funny. I love the rearranging furniture cutscene.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But I think that, like, when it comes to the mages, like, if Vivian is the divine and she tries to just make everything like it was before, and then if you have, like, a softened Liliana who is kind of extreme, right,
yeah.
for the Chantry, it's such a big difference.
It is.
Like, in how society is going to be looking. And either what you're saying is that actually it ends up the same regardless, or it's just, yeah, that's sad. Or it is that
retroactively
it is different,
just
but
kind of ruins Inquisition.
Yeah.
Doesn't ruin Inquisition, but you get what I mean. It's like,
Yeah.
why does it matter?
But I just finished my recent replay of Inquisition in preparation of the Veilguard, and up until this point, I've always gotten, like, when I make a softened Liliana the Divine, I always get the, like, things are stable for now, but
Yeah.
Vivian has her own faction. But this time, I had Vivian in my party a lot, and I think my Inquisitor became really good friends with her, despite being pro-mage freedom and stuff. You can also lie to NPCs. Life hack. To get approval.
It's true.
And you can still make the decisions you want to make.
Yeah.
And it compensates, right?
It's true.
But this time I got a more stable version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it doesn't say that Vivian made her own rival thing. So I guess she liked me enough to trust my decision this time. Is this a thing? Because
I don't know.
I think it's the first time that I haven't gotten the, like, for now feeling from the ending. It was really more like things are kind of fine. Like, Liliana talked to the people who disagreed with her and they chilled out.
Yeah.
And now she's ruling in a stable way. And I didn't know that that was a thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I played it the same as I always do. But I must have done something different.
Interesting.
Maybe it has to do with Vivian approval. If you know, please leave a comment. In
Vivian,
a nice way.
Vivian, if you're out there.
Vivian, if you're out there. Explain.
I wish that there were an Avar origin in Veilguard.
Jaws of Hakon was so cool.
It's such an interesting take on mages.
Yes, because it also proves in another way. It's already been proven by, like, the Dalish and stuff, but that spirits, it's not so black and white as the Chantry and the west, like, southern mages like, make it out to be.
Yeah.
It's not that black and white. Spirits can coexist with people even in this post-Veil Thedas.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with...
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I really think that it would be so interesting to play as an Avar finally, like, give us an Avar.
Yeah. It's just, like, also the level of, like, I love Inquisition, as we have established, but, like, if the Inquisition is here at, like, a good game level, the DLCs are so good.
Oh my god, yeah.
And every time I replay Inquisition now, I can't wait to get to the
DLCs. Yeah, you just
DLCs.
want to get through it to get to the DLCs. I agree. But that's the curse of having story-driven games, because, like, yeah, I could load a save that I had finished the main plot in and then go do the DLCs, but my heart isn't in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why, like, you can't, you can probably, but I can't. Which is why I have so many playthroughs where if it's too much of a break, I disconnect from my character and I can't jump back in without starting from the beginning. And I think that's... I've never felt disconnected from my canon origin character.
No.
I love her. I will die for her.
Yeah.
If
you're out there.
If you're out there, please come back. It's okay. There's parallel universes.
Yes.
Canon is she died, but there's obviously she's alive and kicking in another one, and
Ooh, a fear that I have.
Yeah.
I hated the shards in Inquisition.
The shards?
The shards. The shards.
Shadowheart? Yeah.
And also the ocularium.
Yeah.
Which
is also too bad because it's such an interesting concept.
But I think I just don't like that kind of puzzle.
No.
Also in games. It's I'll play a puzzle game if I want to do that. I'm sure that there are people who really appreciate that, and I'm happy for you. But I don't.
Very genuine.
I don't want it. So I don't want things like, and I never collect the shards. I do all the side quests, but I don't collect the shards, and I don't do the ocularum.
I think you mean like the...
I mean the
Yeah, Astarium.
Yeah.
Astarium? I don't know what it's called, but the constellation
Yes,
things.
the constellation stuff, because the ocularum are where you see the shards.
I honestly, I don't know what happens if you finish the star thing.
I don't either. I did the shards one time, and I got to that. You. Yeah, I found that other like area with the pillars and stuff. But I also don't like having to figure out how to get to a certain spot. Yeah. It's just another puzzle. So now I just skip that every time. Yeah. I don't need the gear. I can make my own stuff. That's better. But I want there to be fun crafting. I don't want to have to feel like I'm endlessly collecting plants. I don't want to collect shards. Yeah. I was going to say I don't want to slowly guide farm animals back to their pasture. But I would love one, like, voluntary side quest as, like, a reference to the fact that sucked. Yeah. How
would you do that? That's interesting.
I think that would be fun. I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just telling you I want it. Yeah. Yeah. So just, like, get the game back into production.
Actually, delay it.
Yeah, delay it. I don't want it. I've been waiting for 10 years.
I can wait another year.
Yeah, it's fine. No.
I don't. I can't.
Please don't. I can't wait anymore.
The constellation thing is so boring.
Yes.
That even, like, I love lore. Mm-hmm. I don't care enough to look. No. And I don't hear people talk about it. They always make them difficult to get to. But I'm very excited about this. I have taken a week off of work for the Veilguard. So I'm going to work from home on the 31st. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to work from home after lunch because I need to go into the city to grab my copy of the game. Yeah, because I play on PC and you play on console.
Yeah, and then, exactly. It's so perfect that we're playing on different console and PC and stuff. Yeah. Different experiences. Very. I'm playing on the PS5, but is that the only console it's available? Is it available on Xbox?
No, I think it's available on Xbox as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you can pre-install your game so that the second that the clock strikes 5, you can play it. I
exactly.
cannot.
Yeah.
I have to download it. So I will be going absolutely insane. I've taken 2 days off from work.
I specifically didn't use up my vacation days during the summer because I knew I was going to take a week off for Veilguard.
And my vacation days are cursed. But that's not interesting enough to talk about. But yeah, I've taken 2 days off. Yeah. And I'm very excited.
Yes. And I think we're going to try to do like kind of like when we're playing through the Veilguard, we're going to do catch up, like, how's your playthrough going? Yeah. Kind of episodes.
And that will be very spoilery.
Yeah, those will be spoilery. So be careful of that, I suppose. Yeah. Right now, we're also recording. I'm sure you'll be shocked because the quality is going to be so wonderful. But we are recording on my iPhone with one mic that's like the volume seems to be really low. So the sound quality might be bad. We may use the phone audio.
Maybe. We'll see what we can work with.
Yeah.
Maybe this is completely useless and we can't use any of it, but then
Yeah.
at least we got to hang out.
Exactly. I feel like that's sort of the thing. Like, we could do all of it over Zoom, but then we wouldn't get to... My neighbors are going crazy again. Then we wouldn't get to hang out in person, which is part of the fun.
Which is part of why we kind of do this, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it turns out fine and we like the end result, we are probably going to get some slightly better equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can have one mic each. And so at least the audio is better, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think the video quality will be what it is.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Because that's not the important thing. But yeah.
Yes.
That is... Should we round it up there?
I think so. We're running out of daylight.
It's going to be very interesting to see the lighting.
Sun. Yeah, the sun does start to set around like 4 p.m. now in Sweden, where we are. By the way, you can probably see this in the reflection in the mirror if you look close enough. But our version of a tripod is a ladder with a glass jar of spaghetti with a cardboard phone stand. So
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
We haven't made a YouTube channel in preparation.
No.
So the
we
whole
should
like
do that now.
You can find us at blah blah blah. I don't know where you can find us. But I have a TikTok account called Stray Warden, and I will probably post something there. I don't know. But there will also be a new TikTok account with some shorts.
And Lisa is a wonderful editor, so she's gonna put the YouTube channel name up on the screen right now. Somewhere. It's beautiful.
You don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. I mean, if it's on YouTube, it's not the YouTube handle. If it's on YouTube, it's our TikTok handles and shit like that.
Yes.
And
actually, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
We will let you know where you can find us.
Yeah.
And this, if you're watching, you found us.
Good job.
And
just probably just come back here.
Yeah.
And you'll have found us again.
Yeah, most likely. And also, if you Google Sit in Judgment Companion Approval, I think we'll end it there.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time.
Probably. Hopefully. Thanks.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Smash that like button. Turn on notifications.
I think we'll just end it somewhere. It's like, oh, did you see the Amelia and Andrew Garfield chicken shop date?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, how are we going to end this? And then they just...
I'm feeling very judged.